when you first got into, all right, I'm going to start my own company. All right. Now I imagine you first convinced yourself. Maybe that's not true, but when was the first time you pitched it to somebody else? And what did that feel like?
Ooh.
That's a great question. So I actually pitched it before I had the intent of starting it.
Yeah.
And I just thought, let's see if I get any bites.
Yeah.
And so actually it was at OTC.
Mm-hmm. So a huge conference.
It's a huge
everybody,
offshore technology conference.
In January.
And so the one this year, because of 2020, was canceled. It's usually first week of May.
Yeah.
And so this was last year in May. And I actually went out and I was determined that I was going to start my own business. Maybe it was going to be on the side. Maybe I'd be helping my dad. I didn't quite know how it was going to work. But there was this lady, I went to a women's luncheon and I was walking out of the luncheon and this one lady looked lost, like she was definitely not oil and gas. And so I said, where are you headed next? What are you looking to, learn? What's your business? And so she was in batteries. She came from California and was in batteries and was trying to figure out, I don't know, how her company could break into oil and gas. And I said, well, I've been in the industry over 10 years. My dad and I have a business. I'd be happy to help you out with introductions anytime. I've worked in the industrial sector, like things like that. And I gave her my card and she goes, this is just amazing. Thank you so much. I would love to connect with you. And I thought, okay, I got this thing. I got this thing. And then I went and I pitched it a couple more times as I met people and they were like, all right. And other colleagues in the industry that I've talked to about, I'd love to go out on my own. One guy in particular, I sat next to him quite a bit at NOIA conferences, which is it's a National Oceans Industries Association. And he goes, you can do this. You can do this.
Yeah.
It's no problem. I knew when you walked in the room that you could do this. You could run a business.
Yeah.
It's no problem. And so I keep that in the back of my mind because even though you've stepped out and you're doing it, there are those moments when you're like, what am I doing? Should I be, should I be scrolling LinkedIn looking at jobs that I should apply to as a backup, in case it doesn't work? And, no, you just keep telling yourself, okay, I've got this. I can do this.
In the process of pitching this, did anybody come to you and say, I don't know, Lauren, like, did you hit any of that kind of obstacle?
Not really, other than I think my parents being terrified.
But it's an entrepreneurial family.
It is. But
maybe that's why they were terrified. They were like, I know what this is going to be like.
This is brutal.
And I think also because we've been through, as a family, we've been through so many hard times in a sense. So my husband's been laid off several times due to industry downturns or changing, strategy. And so I've really been the stable income. And so for our family, it's even more risky because I was the stable one and my husband had just started at a 100% commission job doing insurance and financial planning. And so, he's probably 3 years in it now, but still, getting solid on your feet. And here I am going, all right, I'm going to start my own thing too. I hope your job starts doing well because if mine goes bust, we're completely bust. But he's been, one of my biggest cheerleaders, and he's basically my only colleague that I have now. I subcontract some things out, and but my day to day, if I get something exciting or something I really need to bounce off of him, I'll go pull him out of the garage where he's technically working right now with a team that he has, and. So kind of his team has become my colleagues as well because they all know they're like, yeah, Lauren, go get it. So